Houston, we have a problem.
Give me all you got!
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Give me back my gun! I didn't kill my wife! I don't care!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Stand and Watch, the best and only dad movie podcast you're ever going to listen to because we killed all the other ones.
They're dead and gone, baby. They're not coming back.
Hello, all of you standees, and especially to you, Steve Buscemi.
Hi, Steve Buscemi, and hi, Standies.
I am once again your host, Matt.
And I'm your smooth, silky-voiced other host, Nick.
Yeah, Nick's got his sick voice going on for this sick movie that we're about to talk about.
Well, actually, this is my natural voice. I've been putting on a podcast voice this entire time. I thought now was the time to finally come out and tell you that this is my natural voice.
Well, see, that surprises me because if this is your natural voice, this sounds more like a podcast voice than your podcast voice did.
This is my radio. I was born with a radio voice, and in the industry, the radio companies do not like it if you put on your podcast voice. It's an insult to them. You have to be careful out there.
Did you do the morning announcements at school?
Hello, classmates. Today's menu, we have Mexican pizza and we have sloppy Joe. And there's no more. We're all out of chocolate milk, so you'll either have to drink the regular milk or the orange juice. And if library fines are due by the end of the week, if you don't turn them in, you can't take your report card home.
Did you ever see the South Park episode where Cartman becomes the morning announcements guy? And when he's going to audition for it, the kid in front of him has the Casey Kasem radio voice.
Yep. Is that the same one that they're basically making fun of Gawker and has WikiLeaks, like the little rat?
No, that's the one where he becomes the morning announcements guy and then becomes one of those, I'm just asking questions.
I'm just asking the questions. I forgot about the Casey Keenum, the guy with the voice. He was a voice for Shaggy, right? Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Was he?
I'm pretty sure.
Jimmy, look that up for us.
Jimmy, you got Jimmy, you got it.
Casey Kasem.
Because one of those old smooth.
Yes, he was.
He was.
Yes.
And he did it for a while because he even came back for What's New Scooby-Doo back in 2002.
69 to 97 and then 02 to 09.
So the thing that fucks me up about Scooby-Doo, and then we can get to this awesome movie.
Yeah. So
growing up as a kid, I was born in the 90s. I watched What's New Scooby-Doo as a kid, but I also watched Scooby-Doo Where Are You, which is from the 70s. And
60s.
Now watching What's New Scooby-Doo with my son.
Yeah.
And realizing that he's basically having the same experience. He's watching the Scooby-Doo from my childhood and will likely have a Scooby-Doo from his childhood if WB ever pulls a Ted out of its ass.
Is there a current Scooby-Doo cartoon on? I don't think there is.
No, so they did Mystery Inc., which was the 2010s, which is a serialized Scooby-Doo, which it's kind of got Buffy vibes to it the few times I've watched it with him. And it's also really scary compared to some of the other stuff.
Really?
But I don't think there's a recent one. They did that Scoob movie in 2019. I don't think that was a hit, though.
No,
but
they
I don't
canceled the sequel. Or they garbaged it after it was finished.
Well, and I don't think we'll get a new Scooby-Doo until someone shoots Zaslav in the head, so...
Yeah.
Here's hoping.
It's going to be Scooby in a trench coat.
Should I watch those comments? Am I going to get pulled off into a paddy wagon with the new administration if I threaten the life of a CEO on the podcast?
You didn't threaten him. You just said that there wouldn't be a new Scooby-Doo until someone else kills him.
Exactly. Zaslav, I'm not going to shoot you in the head. Someone probably will one day.
And then there will be a new Scooby-Doo.
And you'll wonder why, and I got to tell you right now, bro, you don't need to wonder. But to go back to my original point, it's fucking me up that my kid is watching a Scooby-Doo from my childhood and looks at it as the old Scooby-Doo. And that theme song, really of its time.
What's new Scooby-Doo?
What's new, Scooby Doo? We're coming after you. It has like that 2002
Listen,
punk pop.
What if I told you?
Aesthetic.
What if I told you that was the best pop punk song of all time?
I believe you. I
Yeah,
believe you.
it
And
is.
it was they were still so in What's New, Scooby Doo, they were still doing chase montages to like music, which amazing. I fucking love it. I wish they would do it. I wish shows would still do that.
Oh,
But they
anytime a
there's-
show does the Scooby Doo gag of like a chase and they go into a bunch of doors, that's the best.
and it's just so like just the fact because I remember the older cartoon, the songs being old, but I'm like, oh, these are just like, you know, the music arm of WB was like, hey, we got the monkeys here. Can we put a monkey song as they're getting chased by that gorilla in the circus episode? And WB was like, yeah, we can do that. There was a Simple Plan song, I think, that came on in one of the I do anything. I don't know if that's Simple Plan. I think it is.
They
But
all
I was
sound
like,
the
oh
same.
my God. I know this song outside of Scooby Doo, and it was in Scooby Doo. I'm fucking what?
Yeah, man, Scooby Doo is the best. I think it's a crime that there isn't at least one new like Scooby Doo like TV special or like TV movie or something like a year where like they just like team up with some like crossover like celebrity or character to solve a mystery.
So they still do it in the comic books at least. I bought one of the first comics I bought my son was a Scooby Doo Batman crossover.
Yeah,
kids.
they used to have cartoons of that. They got to bring those back.
They do need to bring those because I think the last one I remember was like John Cena in like the late aughts, early tens.
Oh yeah, there was a WWE crossover movie.
Like I don't know, I don't think I'd be excited for the guest if they did it now because you know there'd be a Jack Black one, fine, whatever, however you feel about Jack Black. They might have squeaked in like a Hawk Tuah. It would just be like Scooby Doo solves a mystery with Mr. Beast, and Mr. Beast in the cartoon is even more uncanny.
Well, no,
he looks more normal in the cartoon than he does in real life. I bet.
Probably, but no, they would have to do the crossovers with like fictional characters. Like wrestling works because those are like characters. Like wrestling John Cena is not real John Cena. But like you wouldn't do a crossover with Jack Black, but you could do like a crossover with like Nacho Libre.
It would like Nacho Libre. I do feel like they would just be obnoxious and be like, all right, we got we got Edward Cullen from Twilight. Random fucking thing. But no, like just a bunch of fucking like Kai or what's that streamer? That popular streamer? Kai.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name.
Fucking Elon Musk would be in an episode because
No,
of course he fucking would.
No, he wouldn't.
But this was before the nondescript this was before the Nazi hand gesture.
Yeah, he would be in one if it was in like 2011.
Yeah, he was in a Rick and Morty as Elon Tusk and he voiced himself. This is when he was trying to convince everyone that I'm just one of the cool guys. Just let me on your show, man.
Yeah, he was in Iron Man 2 and somehow that's the most poorly aged part of that movie.
And look, all I'm saying is one day someone's going to shoot that man in the head and he's going to wonder why. And all I'm saying is you don't need to wonder why, Elon.
I don't think he is going to wonder why. He's going to know exactly why. He wouldn't act the way he does if he wasn't fully aware that nobody liked him.
And people like the two defenses for him after the salute that I saw were like he's autistic and he's trolling. And I mean, if you're like the kid that was always doing that shit in high school grew up to be like a burnout who like fucking isn't doing anything or OD'd like 10 years ago. So it's like, all right, Elon, look, this is your future, man. Like, are you ready?
Yeah, and I there's plenty of autistic people out there who don't Nazi salute ever. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Rain Man wasn't doing the Sig Heil after he got kicked out of the casino.
Yeah, you know, all the autistic people that I've met, none have thrown that salute out.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Wanted. Something Elon Musk isn't.
Very, very unwanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the Wikipedia up if you want me to go ahead and read the synopsis here.
Go for it.
Oh, wait, I lied. My Wikipedia disappeared. Let me grab that real quick.
Read us the introductory paragraph in your sultry tones.
Not to be confused with Wanted 2009 film. Wanted is a 2008 action thriller film directed by Tamir Bekmambetov and is written by Michael Brandt, Derek Haas, and Chris Morgan, loosely based on the comic book miniseries by Mark Miller and J.G. Jones. The film stars James McAvoy, Morgan Freeman, Angelina Jolie, Terrence Stamp, Thomas Kretschmann, Common, and Chris Pratt. The story of Wanted revolves around Wesley Allen Gibson, who decides to join the fraternity, a secret society of assassins, after learning that his father was a member of the fraternity. Yeah. Released in 2008. This was this is a summer flick. Budget was 75, and it went on to make $342 million.
That's pretty good.
This was peak. Where was I? It was 2008. I was 16, 17. I did not see this in theaters, but I wish I had. I feel like it would have been a really good time.
Yeah, it probably would have. How old was I? This 2008. I was 11.
You couldn't get in.
Yeah, I could with I could with parental supervision.
Well, without parental supervision, you were not getting in because of the Jolie butt scene. They're like, sir, there's a butt scene in this. You're gonna need a parent.
Oh,
And you're standing at the box office. You're like, but I have a butt. I see it in the mirror every day. Just let me in.
yeah.
Come on.
Come on. I'm just a little 11-year-old boy. Let me see Angelina Jolie's butt.
And they told you no, and then you just went home and watched it on this brand new website called YouTube.
Yeah, even now as a 27-year-old man, I go to the movie and say, come on, let me in. I want to see Angelina Jolie's butt.
And they're like, sir, she's not in this movie.
I go, well, can you just edit her in? Come on. It's all digital now. You don't have an actual film projector in there.
They're like, sir, this is the wild robot. Angelina, it's animated. Her butt wouldn't even... What are you doing? Get the fuck out of here.
Come on, just draw it in. I want to see Angelina Jolie's butt. I'm the only one in this theater.
I almost did this, sir. This is an Arby's, but I can't. It's been done.
Come on, it's a Tuesday matinee. Come on, I'm the only one here. Just draw it in.
Just let me in. Let me in with my unsuggestive popcorn box. Where'd you get that? We didn't sell that to you.
It's my Angelina Jolie box.
Oh no, I don't even want to know what it's shaped like. I don't want to know.
If you must know, it's shaped like Brad Pitt.
You're like, it's my ergonomically correct Brad Pitt popcorn bowl.
I only use it when Angelina Jolie's butt is in a movie.
It's got extra holes in it because it's him. It's got extra holes in it because it's him from when he gets hit by the cars and Meet Joe Black.
Okay, we could go on with this bit forever, but let's do our Letterboxd reviews.
I've got mine right here. This is from Logan, who is not a pro or subscribed or premium Letterboxd user. Good for you, especially in this economy. He gave it 4 stars and a heart and said, there's a whole plot line in this movie about how they can curve bullets like baseballs in midair. And that's not even the craziest part.
That is true.
I fully agree.
Yeah. I got a review here from Chloe, who is also neither a pro nor patron member of Letterboxd, who gave this movie 3.5 stars and a heart and wrote, I want Angelina Jolie to curb stomp me.
Are we just going to be horny for Angelina Jolie this whole episode?
I mean, did you watch this movie?
This was peak Joe. There's a moment on the train where she has like a splatter of blood on like the right side of her face. And I was just like, man, that's so fucking hot.
Listen, all I'm saying is she appears out of nowhere in front of Wesley in the pharmacy in this movie. And he's like, go away. I'm like, what's wrong with you? If I turned around and Angelina Jolie was just staring at me, it'd be the happiest day of my life.
Was this before her and Brad Pitt ruined Jennifer Aniston's life? No,
this was after.
This was after, okay. So she had that I just ruined a marriage glow up.
She did. This is like almost right after, because that was Mr. and Mrs. Smith where they did that, and this was 3 years later.
Okay, I was getting my timelines crossed because for some reason I thought Mr. and Mrs. Smith was after.
Yeah, did she do any movies in between?
I would argue this is the last movie of hers that I really gelled with. Let me confirm that though.
Where is her filmography? I hate when their Wikipedia page doesn't just have filmography. It's like a little link somewhere.
Oh, I hate it when you have to go to like the completely separate page for the filmography. I didn't realize she was only 49. I thought she was much older.
Yeah, she was what? So she was what? She was like 33 in this movie?
Fuck, I just turned 33 and I'll never look that good. God damn it.
Okay, here we go.
Da.
Filmography.
Man,
Okay.
this is what her page is, one of those pages where you have to fucking scroll to find the filmography.
I just did Control F. Okay, yeah, Mr. Okay, so she did do a couple movies in between.
I remember her being in Beowulf. That was like a CG. That was a CG nightmare.
Yeah, that was one of those Zemeckis fever dreams.
Yeah, it was 300, but Beowulf.
Yeah, A Mighty Heart I've never heard of. The Good Shepherd I've heard of. I didn't know she was in that. Then Kung Fu Panda's a voice, and then Wanted. So yeah, just destroyed a marriage glow, I would say. She still
This really is the last movie of hers that I really gel with, because I didn't like Salt.
Really?
Wasn't big on The Tourist.
I never saw The Tourist. I only know of it
And then
because of those Ricky Gervais jokes.
I remember watching her in those Maleficent movies and just fucking laughing the entire time.
I didn't see those.
They're so ridiculous.
I
get the messaging of them, but they're just so ridiculous.
You didn't like? I liked Salt.
But it's so it's also been 15 years, and I was a completely different lad back then. So maybe I would like Salt. Who knows?
I think Salt might be the last movie of hers I've seen. Yeah, The Tourist I didn't see. Oh, I guess I've seen the Kung Fu Panda movies, but she's just a voice, so I'm not counting those. I don't get to look at her.
I do wish she was in more movies, because the run of movies she had. So like Wanted,
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, when she was in Tomb Raider. I even liked her in Sky Captain and The World of Tomorrow. Like, I want her in more movies.
I've never heard of this movie.
That one's also one of those.
That's a cool title. I like the title.
I think it's very heavily CGI. Like, I don't know how good it looks now.
Oh.
But it's when everyone was trying to do that very stylized, like, kind of art direction in their movies. It was right after 300 came out, I believe.
I do like those two Tomb Raider movies. Like, they're really cheesy fun.
They're so campy.
She punches a shark in the second one. How can you not love that?
She needs her modern day Bone Collector. She was really good in Bone Collector too.
I never saw the Bone Collector. Gone in 60 Seconds. I like her in that.
She's good in Hackers.
Yeah. But yeah, Salt is the last movie I really saw her in, and she's honestly, her filmography gets kind of sparse as it goes along. She's got to do more things.
That makes me sad.
It does.
It makes me sad. 'Cause I'm like, no, she should have been working this entire time. She's obviously raising a family and doing other stuff, but
she's only 49. She needs her John Wick.
She needs to come back, do her John Wick.
Yeah. Or not even a John Wick. She needs her substance.
She needs her substance. Was she ever nominated for anything? Like,
I don't think
Oscar-wise?
I don't think so.
It feels really weird that I can't say Oscar nominated or Oscar winning Angelina Jolie.
List of awards and nominations. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, she did win.
The Oscar?
She has 2 Oscar nominations and 1 win for Best Supporting Actress for Girl Interrupted.
Oh wow, okay. See, I've never seen Girl Interrupted.
Me neither. That's with Winona Ryder. Yeah, 99. So she got her Oscar and was like, I'm gonna make some cool Tomb Raider movies.
Because that's the move, right? You do your artsy film that gets you the Oscar, and then after that, that's when you bank and just do all this shit that's going to make you the money.
Yeah, well, it's either that or the reverse, where like you do your big money maker, and then you decide, great, I have the money, now I get to do all the weird stuff that I want. Right. Or you get your Oscar, and then you do, now I'm going to get all my money. It's one of those.
So she did the, I got my Oscar, now let's fucking make some money.
Yeah.
And then along the way, she met the love of her life, which just so happened to be the love of someone else's life at the time.
Yeah.
And now they don't love each other anymore. And it sounds like Brad Pitt is pretty awful at home. So
yeah.
We should just do an Angelina Jolie episode.
I do think we should put Salt on a future wheel, and those Tomb Raider movies. But yeah, her early to like late 2000s run, pretty much 2000 to 2010. That's pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
Pretty good. And we didn't even mention like she's constantly voice acting in the Kung Fu Panda movies, and if we've learned anything, it's the animation is going to outlive everything. So she's got a role if she ever wants to go and do. If she ever needs like the quick buck, she's got Kung Fu Panda, which I think just had a sequel last year.
Yeah, I don't know if she was in it though. I think the Furious 5, I think they were just like cameos or something.
I was gonna say, did they kill her off in Kung Fu Panda 3?
No.
That harrowing scene.
But yeah, she needs, I think, I mean, she was in a movie this year, it says. I mean, I guess she was in Eternals, but nobody remembers the Eternals.
I mean, the less we say about Eternals, the better.
Yeah. She was in
I've
a
not
movie.
seen it. I just don't want to evoke the MCU haters and get them in here saying, "Yeah, I like these guys." Those are not the standees we need.
Yeah. I mean, she was in a movie last year, some biopic on Netflix, but or not a biopic. Why did I think it was a biopic? It is a biopic.
Can I say I'm so glad you don't call it biopic?
Anyway, she needs her like big comeback vehicle. She needs her
Yes.
John Wick or her The Substance or something. But anyway, let's talk about Wanted because she's really cool in Wanted.
So I really like what Wanted has to say about finding yourself as an individual, and how people use groups to try and find themselves, and if you get too far into a group, you kind of lose your individuality. I really like that. That was something as I was watching it that I really focused on, like the dynamic between the individuals and the groups, and that was just something that really stuck out to me with this rewatch.
Yeah, I like how like at the beginning, like Wesley's like like he hates his life because he's kind of like a cog in the machine, but then he like joins the fraternity and he just kind of becomes a cog in a different machine.
Yeah, he bitches about having no control, and then he gets this opportunity to join something else, and he's like, no, I don't want it. And then it's so disheartening because the thing that changes his mind is like opening his bank account and having $3 million to
Yeah,
be in this thing.
I mean that's
It's like, oh,
I mean, who wouldn't though, right? It's $3 million.
right. It's not disappointing in the like it ruins the movie for me. It's disappointing in the fact that like, yeah, that's how it would go too, wouldn't it?
yeah. It's like okay, and like yeah, I like that like he joins them and there isn't just like he joins them and they're like shoot the wings off this fly and he does, and then like great, you're in. And a lesser movie would have been like, great, he's in now, he's cool. But this movie's like, okay, he's in, let's see if he's really in. And he's like, okay, so I'm in, what do I do now? And then they just spend like a solid 15-minute chunk beating the shit out of him.
Yep. The one guy comes at him and they tie him to a chair, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, get out of the chair.
Yeah, I really like that section because he's just like a hapless, confused doofus. He's like, why are you beating me up? Like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, and it's awesome because they use it as a way to introduce us to every like important member of the fraternity. So we already know Sloan, we already know Fox, but then you get the guy, the punchy guy, you get the butcher, you get Common.
Yeah,
and you end up getting a training montage where he's slowly getting better.
Yeah,
but in the process, getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, and like there is like an actual training montage like after that when he's like when he gets good, and like there's that little like actual training montage. But like I really liked like the initial one where it's just like he's confused, they're beating him up. He's like, what, he's like I don't know what's happening. Why are you doing this? Why am I here? I thought I was one of you, and they're just like why are you here? It's like I don't know.
And then they continue to beat the shit out of him, and then Jolie like at one point is just fed up with him, and I think she got brass knuckles on at one point and just starts punching him.
Yeah.
And she's like, why are you here? He's like, I don't know.
She's like beating the shit out of him.
So close to why he's there. And then like one final punch, he's like, I don't know who I am. Like just the simple, I love that it was just a simple change of like 2 or 3 words to the sentence was the answer.
Yeah. And I love he's like, I don't know who I am is why he's there. But he's also like the thing other than the money, he was like, oh, my dad was a super assassin and I'm fated to be one. Okay. He's just like he just leaves like his regular life that he hated. He's like, oh, I'm just a cog in the machine, unimportant and whatever. My life doesn't matter. I have no what's the word I'm looking for?
He's kind of a loner.
Yeah, he's kind of
Burnout.
a loner. But he's like, my life has no meaning. I have I have no agency. And then Morgan Freeman's like, your dad was a super assassin and you're fated to also be a super assassin. It's in your blood. And he's like, oh, great. Now my life has agency and meaning. It's like, it doesn't though. Because
It doesn't. You found out that your dad did something, and now you're like, oh well, I should do that. I should be in the family business. When he said that, and he's like now, and he finds that out, and he's like, okay, I do this too. It made me think of another movie from that year, Step Brothers, where John C. Reilly's character wants to be in the family business. His dad just happens to be a doctor. The other thing, this movie has like one of my favorite needle drops of all time.
Oh yeah.
The Nine Inch Nails song, where he wakes up, he goes to "I believe I can see the future," and I think they do it twice, maybe a third time that I missed. But it's just one of those, not melodramatic, but just one of those songs that you put on when you're having a bad day. You're like, man, this fucking sucks. My life sucks, and you just watch this man just go to the ringer, go to work, get yelled at by his boss Janice, go home to his girlfriend who hates his guts, who's fucking Chris Pratt behind his back, and just Dan and the song just really drums on how much of a droid he is.
I wrote this in my notes, and I didn't write it because I didn't write it in the likes or dislikes section. I wrote this in between because I wasn't sure. I wrote, this movie has the most 2004 soundtrack a 2008 movie has ever had.
Yep. Yep. Nine Inch Nails would not be heard in movies again until Challengers.
Right? And like, I was like, I wrote that in my notes. I was like, but is that a bad thing or a good thing? And I couldn't decide, so I just have it in between. But the longer it's been since I've watched this, I'm leaning towards good thing because that like main theme, like the main riff of it, has been stuck in my head.
Well, and I think this movie, it came out in a really opportune time because this was during the housing crisis. So like they kind of, they probably shot the movie back in 2007, 2006, and then the movie comes out in the middle of the housing crisis. So you got a bunch of people that are like, ho hum, like shit sucks. And when you look at it, you're like, well, these people who were like down on their luck sure had enough money to go support the box office at least.
Yeah.
they're getting kicked out of their homes, but they're at the goddamn movie theaters.
Oh, I just got evicted from my house, Now, what do I do with my remaining $12? Well, there's that new James McAvoy film.
I'm surprised we haven't had more like reports on the news of like teenager shot dead after trying to curve bullets with his friends.
You know what?
Maybe it's a good thing this movie isn't popular with younger generations.
Maybe. Yeah, if this movie came out today, there'd be some stupid TikTok challenge.
They'd be like, we're gonna curve the bullet, we're gonna do it, and it's just someone accidentally shoots a friend.
Curving the doing the wanted
darkest episode.
doing the wanted curved bullet. Hey everybody! Hey TikTok, we're doing the wanted curved bullet challenge, and I'm gonna one up everybody else on TikTok. I'm gonna curve the bullet around my girlfriend.
No.
I'll be playing the role of James McAvoy.
My girlfriend is Angelina Jolie. She's so hot, isn't she? Oh my god! And then it cuts to them at the hospital. I'm not the same blood type. Somebody with O positive, get here now.
Oh god. Do you want to get into our dislikes?
Yeah, we can.
All right. I'll start us off because I'll start us off with a minor one because my enjoyment of this movie was not diminished in any way by this, but the mechanics of the fraternity are absolute nonsense.
I love that though. When we get back to the likes, I'll talk about it more. But that's kind of like the movie commenting on like how ridiculous groups are. Like the fact that they call it a fraternity, I just think of like you think of a college fraternity, obviously, and like they have all these made up rules, and you're like, well, who made this rule up? And you're like, well, the thing before the group before us, and they followed it because the group before them did.
I don't even mind it.
You never get a clear answer of okay, but why did this start? Why are we doing it?
I don't even mind like the nonsense lore behind it, but I'm just like, they follow a mystical loom? Like what?
We just found it one day.
Right? Like that's like it's absolute, like I don't mind like the nonsense lore behind it of like, 1,000 years ago this was founded and this and that and then whatever. I'm just like, okay, so there's just like a magical loom that like, do people turn this on? Are they working on the loom? Does the loom like print itself? Has this been like, was this always around? Was it around before the loom? Like, was this the first loom ever? Like who controls the loom? How, like, You know, like somebody has to control a loom, right? So who's putting these names on? It was like, no, it's just a loom that's just works itself. It's just not like that's what bugs me. Like this loom, like the loom is stupid.
I kind of like it because the movie's just like, yeah, that's what it is. And again, I think it's funny because no group really had like. At the end of the day, groups will do what they need to do to survive, and if that means breaking their own rules, they will.
I don't know. I think maybe it's just the fact that it's a loom. Like they picked the stupidest object to make it.
You know, I'm gonna push back on this. Matt, you liked everything about the beekeeper.
I did, but I draw the line at a mystical loom. Like
So,
I love,
you can protect the hive, but if the threads tell you that we gotta kill somebody,
I love us like I'm all for a stupid premise. I will absolutely buy into a stupid premise, but there's just like there's always that little bit that pushes you over the edge of like, well, that's no, and just a mystical loom. Like of all the things, a loom. I don't know.
Well,
The fact that it's
I
a
was
loom.
thinking as they were reading for the I love that they're like it's a secret code, and then it's like it's binary. It's just binary based on over under. And then I was sitting there and I took a note. I was like, I would definitely fuck that up and someone innocent would die because I can't read this shit.
I don't know this. I don't know. Maybe I'm being predictable, but just if it was not just something about it being a loom, I'm like, really? Like that's the thing? It's a mystical loom. It couldn't have been a mystical anything else.
I think that towards the end, that's one of my beefs with this organization is, well, first of all, they're in like the heart of Chicago and no one's like, what's this thing going on in here? Are you guys paying taxes in here? What's going on? And you have James, I'm sorry, you have Wesley assaulting the place at the end, and you just have all of these nameless goons shooting at him out in the open in Chicago. And I was like, is this a secret society? What are we doing here? Like anyone broke into this place, like they would know immediately what you're doing. You all should be in prison because this is a terrible secret society. You're not secret at all.
Yeah, I mean,
You're all on top of a train in the heart of Chicago. You're telling me you haven't been seen doing your bullshit?
I know, and they don't use silencers ever.
They like want to be loud.
I'll also say this. There's this is one of those movies where like it's really dumb, but it doesn't matter because it's really cool. But there's a little stretch in the middle where there's a stretch in the middle where like there's no cool action happening, and so I'm just thinking to myself, can we just get to the next cool action thing?
This movie does do one of my biggest gripes when it comes to movies is that characters that could easily just have a conversation don't. And that's when it comes to Cross and Wesley. I know just about every other time they're together, Angelina Jolie is there to intercept. But like, just scream out, "I'm your dad."
Yeah, or like send him like a secret message or something, right?
You're already driving a car. They're driving a car off the side of the bus. You think you screaming, "I'm your dad," is going to do anything?
But which, by the way, and we'll get into this perhaps, driving a car on the side of a bus, really cool.
Really fucking cool. The practical stunts, the practical effects, really great. CGI, not so much. This is like the mid-aughts were like a weird time for like weird uses of CGI.
Yeah.
There's a sky shot of them on top of the train, but they very much look like bad 3D renderings of Jolie and McAvoy.
Yeah, most of the movie I didn't notice anything too terrible, but there were a few shots where I was like, that's bad.
There's one in the final assault. It's right before he uses the repairman, the punchy guy, as a meat shield, basically.
Yeah.
After shooting him in the head multiple times.
By the way,
there's a scene
with his gun like stuck in his eyeball.
It's a great scene. It's so cool. It's a great contrast to when he didn't want to shoot the old lady earlier, and now he's got this body in his hands shooting through the eyeball.
Yeah.
There's a slow motion moment where like a gun gets kicked up and kicked into his hand, and his face, like it's not his face, like they've rendered his face into the scene, and I'm guessing they rendered his face, but it's like actually like a stuntman's hand.
Yeah.
And it looks rough because it's in slow motion, so it's going to stand out. And I was like, oh man, this one was rough.
Yeah, and Also, I know obviously like this isn't a movie you really enjoy for the plot, but I do think like if the twist is that like Cross is his dad and the fraternity are the evil ones, they give that away right at the beginning, right? With that phone call, the guy on the roof. Because he clearly says on the other end that like you're the bad guys or whatever. So like right away they're giving away, okay, so that's what's happening here.
When they give you the misdirection of, I think McAvoy says something along the lines of, when I was a little 7-day-old baby, do you think my dad looked in my little blue eyes and said, I'm raising a fucking loser? And then they cut to what's his name, Mr. X or whoever.
Yeah.
The first guy to get killed. So they do that to make you think that's the dad.
Yeah, and they tell him it's the dad and whatever, but like he before he dies, like he's on the phone with Cross and like that conversation very well lays out that, okay, that conversation it lays out the twist pretty clearly that, okay, like this guy on the phone is not the good guy. So when by the time you get to the point where they're like, yeah, that guy on the roof was your dad, you're like, he's probably not, right? If he's really if they're really the bad guys, that's not his dad.
I will say they got me the first time. I was like, what? No, no way. He's been trying to kill his father this whole time. I also don't like that opening hallway moment where he's like in the elevator and he's gonna run to the other roof.
Oh,
and a lot of the reviews you see like, this wants to be the Matrix, and in that one scene I'm like, yeah, that one scene wants to be the Matrix, because he's running through the hall, papers are flying out of the rooms because he's running so fast, I guess.
Yeah, and then like nobody ever does that again.
No.
So it's just like a thing he does for some reason. Yeah, I don't know, it's weird.
Well, I forgot about the whole adrenaline thing. Your heartbeat, you get your heartbeat up to 400 beats per minute, and that gives you extra adrenaline, so you can slow shit down.
Yeah, but that wouldn't let him jump across buildings.
Right.
And again, nobody else does that.
About that gimmick of the movie, because I mean, the thing that always stood out to everybody was the curved bullets.
Yeah, because why wouldn't it?
Right. It's cool. It's fucking cool.
It's so cool.
It makes you want to try, which again,
you should not.
Surprise. You should not do. Do not get on TikTok and do this. It will get banned.
Yeah, and you will kill somebody.
You will kill somebody. Don't do it.
Yeah. The one other thing, and this is another minor thing, I don't care for that opening text exposition.
Oh, the explanation of the fraternity.
Yeah, just the movie opens up and right away it's just a text on a black screen. 1,000 years ago, they formed the fraternity, and I'm like, I don't need this. Just let Morgan Freeman explain it. He explains it anyway.
You have Hollywood's explainer.
Yeah.
In the movie, you don't need the text.
Yeah, you don't.
The text felt like something that was added after like test screenings.
Yeah, they're like, oh, people are still confused. Well, we'll just explain it at the beginning.
I didn't, this time around, I didn't like the fuck you off the keyboard. Out of the keyboard in Chris Pratt's teeth.
Really?
It was a cool shot, but now the older I get, I'm like, this is cheesy.
I don't know. I still liked it. I still liked it.
Watch it again in 6 years and tell me if you still like it.
Maybe, but as of now, I still liked it. I thought, at the very least, it was a cool shot. I think this movie, above all, it's like just this is a movie where this is one of those movies where you just have to really be aware that what you're watching has little to no substance, and it's all to look cool. And so if something looks cool, I'm like, yep, I dig it.
In my mind, like there's a trilogy of these movies in my mind. It's this, it's Jumper, and it's Looper.
Oh, they're all on the wheel.
And they're all that's why I made sure to get them on the wheel, because they're like, anytime I think of this movie, I can't help but think of those other two, because it's just a really cool kind of sci-fi-ish concept with like just people shooting each other, man.
I think
less so in Jumper, but
I've never seen Jumper, but I will say out of those three, I think Looper's probably the best.
Oh yeah, Looper's like I think Looper was the last one, and I mean, fucking but is that right? That's Rian Johnson, right?
Yeah, but Wanted might be the coolest.
Dude can write a movie. Dude can write a movie.
Yes, he can.
Including Star Wars. That's right.
Yeah,
I like The Last Jedi.
Yeah,
Get over it, nerds.
This is a cool movie, and most of the notes I put down in my likes are just things that happened in it that I thought were cool.
I think I think Pratt's a good character actor in this.
He is.
He's just he's a good bro, but he's a bad friend, and
He is.
he lands it perfectly.
Okay. I'm just gonna talk about things I found cool because that's most of my notes here.
Do it.
Using a bullet to block another bullet is very cool.
They do it numerous times too, right?
They do just a lot, just various times, especially when Cross and Wesley are shooting at each other. Just every bullet is like they're shooting at each other, and it goes slow mo and zooms in on the bullet. And yeah, they're little CGI bullets, but they're just going through the air and they bang into each other, and like that's just cool. Blocking a bullet with another bullet is cool.
I liked Jolie's backstory. Very, very tragic.
Yeah.
Makes her stand out compared to the rest of the fraternity.
Yep.
I also like the little baths. Are those little wax baths or little like ice baths?
Yeah, those are funky. They're like little ice wax baths that like completely heal you in like an hour. Like that's fun.
Visually, it's just it sets up some really cool shots. Especially one later on when the Russian fraternity member is dead and James McAvoy's back in his tub, and you can see the one where the Russian was in, but they weren't able to save him. Just some cool shots set up by that little voice in the script.
Okay. That whole chase, like the whole car chase with Jolie and Cross is really cool. She drives a car on the side of the bus.
She also drives with her heels for a little bit, and I really like the way they set up because she's basically laying on the hood of the car facing back.
Yeah.
One foot on James, one foot on the wheel.
Yeah, and she's just like shooting,
moving around.
Yeah. First of all, the way she even got him into the car at the beginning of that chase was really cool. She does like
they're yeah. Yeah, the 360 spin.
Yeah, because like he's running away because like she meets him in the pharmacy and whatever, and then her and Cross start shooting at each other, and like he's running away, and then she gets in her little like red, I don't know what it was, like a Corvette or a Ferrari or something, and she gets in it, and he's running away in the parking lot, and she just does like a 360 spin in this car with the passenger side door open, and just mid-spin spins into him and gets him into the seat, and the door closes, and I'm just like, that's fucking cool. That's a cool way to get someone into a car. That's a cool way to start a car chase.
I bet you the special features on this DVD are fucking awesome. Like the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh, probably.
I also like the stupid gun tech. Like in the drugstore, Jolie's got like this gun extension that like puts the gun around the corner, and she has like a little computer screen on it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what level in Call of Duty do you have to be to get that?
I like the fancy fucking snipers they have that shoot from like half the city away.
Right, and they have to they're using a scope that's not even attached to the gun to look at their target.
Yeah, they're looking at a scope that's like curved into like another scope that's curved into the gun.
And then the bullet is like a Russian doll as it's traveling. And I guess it Russian dolling itself is what's making it turn back to the target.
Yeah, it's just traveling like across the city. Like that's really cool. All the bullet curving is really cool.
This reminded me a lot of like watching it this time reminded me a lot of that first Kingsman movie and made me want to rewatch Kingsman.
Yeah. That's also a movie where cool things happen. Yeah, but this is just a cool movie. We said before the big climactic shootout. There's a lot of cool things in there. He gets into like a knife fight with the butcher guy, and the butcher's like, he uses his gun to block one of like his little blades, and it goes in his barrel, and then he shoots the thing back at him to kill him. That was cool.
So fucking cool.
That was cool. We said that he like shot the I don't remember his name.
I think it's called the repairman.
Yeah, he shoots the repairman. He like stuffs his gun into his eye, and then uses him as a human shield and shoots other goons through this guy's head. Like that's really cool. Just cool. This is just one of those movies where like you watch it and you're like, the plot is absolute nonsense, but it's really cool.
The excuse me. Well, Common being in I love Common anytime he's in a movie.
Yeah, Common is cool. He doesn't get much to do in this, but he's cool.
I know when Common's in a movie, it's going to be a good movie because Common just has really good taste in like picking out movies.
He does. Yeah,
He's just I don't know if he's got a really good agent or he's just like, oh, Jolie's in that. Put me in that.
I kind of wish he had more to do in this, but just him being there, it's like, yeah, this is cool. He's there,
Yeah,
which
the
makes
one
it
thing-
more cool.
The one thing they give him to do is to be the guy who agrees with Morgan Freeman at the end.
Yeah. Morgan
And
Freeman,
other
by
than
the
that, it's
way,
like, yeah, he's just kind of there.
Morgan Freeman has a great use of the word motherfucker in this.
The best. And then you know what? On top of that motherfucker, James McAvoy does a Sloan, just shouts it. And I was like, oh, I want to see him yell for Khan now.
I do like the twist. I don't know if you would call this a twist, but I do like at the end that like, Jolie like kills herself.
Yeah. Well, because she, like, through her backstory, like, we learn that she respects the code. So, I mean, it's obvious once Morgan Freeman admits that he's been cheating the system that
Yeah.
Jolie wasn't privy to that part of everything.
Yeah,
He
because
just,
like
she assumed that Cross was actually picked out because she's following the code the entire time.
yeah,
All of them are, except for Morgan Freeman. And in that moment, when Morgan Freeman's back is against the wall, he's like, all right, well, I guess we all got to die then, or we could just kill this motherfucker.
yeah. So for people who haven't seen this movie, so the plot is basically Morgan Freeman framed James McAvoy's dad and James McAvoy because he has been cheating the loom of fate and has been putting his own names on it to essentially take contracts from and make some bank, because I guess fate doesn't pay very well.
It's
And-
not.
And so, part of his big speech at the end when like he's exposed is like, well, it turns out all of our names came up on the loom of fate. So we can either follow the code and shoot ourselves, or you can shoot this motherfucker. And everybody in the room is like, okay, let's shoot this motherfucker. And Angelina Jolie curves the bullet around the room, kills all of them and herself.
He was very lucky that they circled him.
Yeah, well, it was a round room.
If they had squared around him, be a different movie. James McAvoy dead.
Yeah, but yeah, so she's like she's the only one that like is uphold. She's the only one that believes in the code so much that she's like, well, if I was on the loom, I gotta die too. So she circles the bullet, kills everybody and herself. I thought that was nice.
Which I know the loom works in mysterious ways, but is the loom predicting that Sloan has like fucked up this whole system, so in turn has corrupted the whole system? So it's like, well, now they all have to go.
I don't know. The loom works in mysterious ways, I guess.
Works in mysterious ways. But I do love that. I do love that Wesley's arc comes full circle. His issue at his job is that he has no control. He gets into the fraternity, thinks he has control, but he really doesn't because the fraternity is controlling every aspect of his life. I mean, hell, they even got the man frozen in fucking wax. And then after he gets away, everyone but everyone but Sloan is dead. Sloan tracks him down at the old job, but haha, it's not actually him; it's a decoy. And Wesley does the sniper trick from the beginning of the movie, killing Sloan, and then looking into the camera and like, I've took control. What the fuck have you done lately? It just looks down. He was brave enough to look down the barrel of the camera and look you into your soul. He was acting with his eyes. I do like that arc has come full circle, and he has control. Yeah. And
Yeah.
again, I like the thematics of individualism versus being in a group. As someone who, has been in groups his whole life, and you kind of, after a while, you start to realize that groups can kind of be bullshit because there's always someone that within the group that wants a little more power. I'm looking
Yeah.
at you, moderators on Discord servers and
Yeah.
Reddit.
Looking at shots fired towards Discord mods everywhere.
We're fucking coming for you.
I would think we should just spend the last little bit here before we rate the movie, talking a little bit more about how hot Angelina Jolie is.
Every fucking shot that she's in, I was like, God damn.
Yeah, my goodness. This might be peak. This is peak Jolie, I think, in terms of looks. I don't think she's ever looked hotter.
How long was this? How old was so it's 2025, so we're looking at, what was that, 13? No, not 13. 17 years ago? So yeah, we said it earlier. She's 33 in this movie. She's Jesus Christ. I'll never look that good at 33.
No, yeah, it was
Like,
it
she's
was
covered in
it was
blood at one
13.
point. She's
It was 13
covered
years
in
ago.
blood. I'm just like, man, I could fix her.
Oh my god, when her and Wesley are on the train and they're doing their little race or whatever to the thing, and like turns out Wesley, has got some skills. She gives this little sly smile. Ugh. My god.
She runs that car into that train, by the way. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Look, all I'm
She just
saying
loves
is
running her cars into stuff.
all I'm saying is, okay, I absolutely think it is wrong to ruin a marriage, but I also think that after watching this movie, I think there's an argument to be made that I could see ruining a marriage for that woman.
Jesus Christ. At the top of the show, I said a few people would get shot in the head, and now you're advocating for ruining a marriage.
I'm not advocating for ruining a marriage. I think it's wrong to ruin a marriage, but I'm just saying if you're gonna ruin your own marriage, this is the bar, right?
Make it fucking worth it.
Yeah, make it work. I think, right? I think it's wrong that Angelina Jolie ruined Jennifer Aniston's marriage, but I'm saying that if Brad Pitt was gonna ruin his marriage, he did it properly, at least.
The worst thing that happened to Jennifer Aniston in that whole situation is that she had to date Vince Vaughn.
Did they date? I didn't even know that.
They were dating, and then they did that breakup movie in 2006 that was not a good movie.
Yeah.
Not the best movie.
I
I also was very young, and it might not have been for me.
Well, yeah. The lesson of Wanted is that if you're gonna ruin your marriage, you have Angelina Jolie is the bar, and anybody.
And if you fucking fumble, you're a fucking idiot.
If you're gonna ruin your marriage, it has to be someone who at least is comparable to Angelina Jolie in the movie Wanted.
And hey, Angelina Jolie, good on you for getting out. Fuck Brad. Team Jolie all the way.
What do you rate this movie?
I give it a 4.
I give it a 3.5.
I know people get caught up on the loom, but I like the loom. I like how stupid it is. I like the mystery of it all. I like the individual versus group dynamic of the film. I didn't say anything about it earlier, but I really like the Chicago setting, even though they're like being a very bad secret society in Chicago.
Yeah, I
no
give it
emphasis on the secret part at all.
I give it a 3.5. It's a really fun, cool, dumb movie. I don't think it's as good as like something like The Beekeeper, which is like top tier dumb. And I gave that a 4, so I can't go high. I don't think this is on that level, but this is good. This is a good fun movie full of things you'll be like, that's cool.
That's neat. I like that.
This is this is a great popcorn stuffer movie. Just stuff your face with popcorn and watch this and be like, that's cool. You know what this movie is? This movie is rad. That's the best way to describe it. It's rad.
So you're saying it's a rad dad movie?
It's a rad dad movie. This is the type of movie that the word rad was invented for. You just look at it and you go, that's rad. Blocking bullets with other bullets? That's rad. It's got a cool third-person shooter tie-in where you can also curve bullets. That's rad.
Very much of the time, getting a tie-in video game that's not like the exact story.
Yeah, the game takes place after the movie.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't the movie, but now I'm tempted to go play it.
Yeah, it takes place after the movie. There's a couple of flashbacks where you play as like Cross in like the 80s or whatever.
That's cool too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you put this on the dad movie scale?
I would give this a 75, maybe an 80.
I was gonna say 80, so I'll meet you at 75. I think 80 because Jolie, like,
I do.
If dad sees Jolie, they're like, all right, I need a beer.
Yeah. I do think a lot of dads might be like, what's the deal with this loom? But yeah, Jolie in this movie really bumps it up the dad scale.
He fucking sells it. And you mentioned it earlier, but that scene in the drugstore where he turns to look to see somebody and then he turns right back around and Jolie just fucking
appears out of nowhere
in that spot. And it kind of spooks you, but then you're comforted right away.
Yeah, because you're like, damn, I wish that would happen to me.
Yeah, just like the most beautiful girl in the whole city of Chicago. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me?
Yeah, maybe the hottest woman in America at the time. Yeah, okay, let's go 80.
It's 80. Put Jolie in more movies. Give Jolie Give Jolie her substance. Give Jolie her fucking. Let's do some more Bone Collector type stuff. Come on.
Give her something. Give her John Wick. Give her whatever. You know, let's get her in more movies. It's time for the Jolie-assance.
Yes, it's time. The kids are all grown up and moved out. Well, they're not all grown up and moved out, but come on.
Yeah, they can handle themselves though.
I will fucking babysit if we can get more Jolie movies.
Yes.
I'll do it for free.
As you should.
I will. What's the? I'll be the children's au pair.
Yeah.
Live in au pair. Just feed me and let me drive your cars, and I will do it for free.
Just let me look for 10 minutes.
You can even make me sleep in the garage. I don't care.
I just
want more Jolie movies.
Yeah, just give me more Jolie movies. The payment for it will be no money, no monetary payment, but the payment will be getting to spend a little bit of time in the same vicinity as Angelina Jolie.
Let me call you Angie. Oh, I'm just babysitting for Angie.
Yeah.
Do you think her and Jennifer Aniston have buried have they squashed the beef yet?
I don't know. Jamie, look that up for us.
Jamie, what you got?
I'm gonna Google Jennifer Aniston,
I think it'd be
Angelina Jolie.
I think it'd be really cool if they did a movie together. Because Brad Pitt did them both wrong.
They should do a movie together. I'm gonna Google have Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie buried the hatchet.
Google AI is gonna be like, they've never buried a hatchet anywhere.
Google AI, according to Google AI overview, Aniston and Jolie have reportedly spoken to each other after a highly publicized falling out.
Yeah. What? Did they fall out again?
However, sources close to Jolie have said that she doesn't feel bad about her role in the breakup between Jolie and Aniston's ex-husband, Brad Pitt. What?
It takes two to tango, and it takes two to break up a marriage.
Hang on, though. Google AI says that Jolie doesn't feel bad about her role in the breakup between Jolie and Brad Pitt.
Wait, Aniston broke them up?
No. Google says that Jolie doesn't feel bad about breaking up Jolie and Brad Pitt. Because Google AI is fucking stupid.
Fucking internet slop, man. Doing what it does best, slopping.
Anyway, I can't really find anything concrete, so who knows? Maybe they haven't. Maybe they have. It's not our business, I guess.
You guys go on and live your life, make your movies or don't make your movies. We're just dreaming out loud.
But do you think if they ever met somewhere in public? I think if they ever ran into each other, I think Jolie could just bury the hatchet, but just be like, I guess you dodged a bullet.
Jolie would have to eat shit for a little bit.
Yeah.
She begged luck.
Actually, she could say, I guess you curved a bullet.
And that's how they get back on good graces, and that's how they get Jolie into. And I've never seen this show, but they get her into season 5 of the Daily Show or the morning show. Yeah. And then from there, they're like, let's do a movie together, and they become BFFs, and they raise their kids together, and they live on a big compound.
Yeah, and we're there too.
And we're there too because we're the au pairs.
Yeah.
Can I call you Jen? He lets me call her Angie.
Jen and Angie.
Just call it. They need a sitcom on CBS called Jen and Angie.
Jen and Angie.
About two Hollywood starlets who were married to the same man, and now they're divorced from the same man, and now they're forced to live together.
She was married to him. She broke up the marriage. Then they divorced. Now they live together.
It would be an Emmy darling.
Weekdays on CBS. It would run for 10 seasons and be the most popular show of. It would have 10 million views.
It would all be coastal elites watching it because no one in the flyover states gives a fuck. It'd be just like other shows about just like Hollywood. Like everyone on the coast loves it. Everyone else is watching Yellowstone.
Is it time for Negative Nancy's?
It is. I've got a really good one. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read it. In Wesley's opening narration, he refers to his boss Janice as anorexic, but she's very large and addicted to donuts. This is not framed as irony or sarcasm or an outrageous claim on his part. Wesley doesn't speak that way normally, so even if it is a joke, it's extremely confusing for the first lines of the film.
Is this person stupid? Because he's clearly being sarcastic.
Being sarcastic, she loves her donuts. She hides them in the top of her desk. She's got Mimi from Drew Carey energy going, and yeah, he's being sarcastic. But this whole, you can sum this up to this negative Nancy believing that sad people cannot be sarcastic.
Yeah, like this person seemed to have seen this and thought, well, he's clearly not being sarcastic, even though he clearly was being sarcastic. And then they got so bent over shape about it that they went and submitted a IMDb goof.
It's got 9 downvotes and 2 upvotes, so I like it.
All right.
The nature is healing.
I have what may be a Hall of Fame IMDb goof here.
Do it.
This may be the most negative of all Nancy's. We've been doing this segment for quite a while, and we've run into quite a few people who watch movies incorrectly and then submit these things to IMDb like they're accomplishing something. And this may be the worst of all. Genuinely. I don't think anything either of us have ever found has been stupider than this one. When Wesley is learning to curve the bullet, as he shoots at Fox, he moves his arm in a counterclockwise motion. As the bullet flies by Fox's head, the bullet is now traveling in a clockwise motion. Even though curving a bullet is factually impossible, it is still a glaring mistake.
I knew this one was coming, and I looked for it as I was watching the movie, and I was like, this guy's fucking stupid. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
What I love about this is that they've fully admitted that curving a bullet is factually impossible, but they've still decided it's a glaring omission that they got the physics of it wrong.
I love this person was sitting in the room with someone they love watching this movie, and their loved one had to hear about this the rest of the night.
Nobody could love this person.
They're just like, how do I curve a bullet into his brain to where it doesn't look like I shot him?
Oh, so they fully admitted this is a completely fictional thing that doesn't follow the laws of physics. And yet somehow their complaint is that it doesn't follow the laws of physics. Even though
that is a Hall of Famer.
Even though this is factually impossible, it's still a glaring mistake. Like, is it? Like, that's like you've just I don't even know. Like, who are these people? Like, who gave them permission to watch movies? How do they get up in the morning?
Put this negative Nancy in the Louvre. Hang him up in the Louvre. Belongs in a museum.
Oh God.
I've got a pretty good dad joke.
Let's hear it.
So we didn't mention the exploding rats. During the assault, there are rats that are fed peanut butter and gasoline. Yeah. And by our hero, might I add.
Those poor rats.
Those poor rats strapped with bombs to assault the fraternity facility, which anyone could find because they're just goons with guns standing around on the roof. And he blows the rats up to start the assault. And my joke is, Ratatouille, more like Ratacabloomy.
Oh my God. Actually, I shouldn't talk because mine is just as bad. What do you get when you barbecue a rodent?
What?
A crisp rat.
You know what? The first one from you in a while that I wasn't mad at. Good movie. Good movie.
Yeah, good movie. Cool movie. Rad movie.
We're on a good 3-movie run right now.
We are. We had a bit of a slump.
Megalopolis, the man of the house. Yep.
Yeah. But we're back.
We're so back.
We are so back. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we had Heartbreak Kid, and then we had bad times in between, but it was Heartbreak Kid, Megalopolis, Man of the House, all in quick succession. We're recovering.
I just hope we get a good one on the wheel today.
I do think the rest of this wheel is pretty good. I am a little concerned about Sound of Metal and
one unknown.
Yeah, it's the one I'm like, is it going to live up to it, or is it just going to end up being just a gimmick? And I guess,
or did the Oscars just oversell it?
I guess that and Jumper are the ones that I'm concerned about.
Jumper's another just stupid good fun.
Jumper I'm more concerned about because I only know of it. I only know of it by its reputation. But other than that, this is a pretty good wheel. Would you like to see it spin? You have a
reputation about you, Jumper. I would love to see it spin.
All right. I'll share my screen.
And I don't know when this episode comes out, but I'm going to put it out right now. And Nora wins Best Picture. Putting it out right here. You heard it here first.
All right. So, by the time this episode comes out, The Brutalist will have already won Best Picture.
we should not money, but we should put something on that.
Listen, I don't want The Brutalist to win Best Picture, but we all know it's gonna.
We all know it's gonna happen. Anything but Amelia Perez.
Yes, that we can all
Honestly.
agree on.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, it is time to spin that
That
wheel.
wheel. Spin that wheel.
Right. As always, I will do the sound effect. Oh!
Hey.
Prospect!
This is a fun little movie. This is the 2018 Pedro Pascal. Hold on, let me pull it up. This is the 2018 Pedro Pascal and Sophie Thatcher movie. I think Jay Duplass is in it as well.
Oh,
Very green movie. Very, very green. It's on Hulu in the States right now.
Let me Google where it is in Canada. Prospect.
I'm out. It is not on Hulu in the States. It is on Hulu with Showtime add-on, which is the most annoying thing.
Oh, where is this? Oh, this is on Prime apparently where I am.
Let me go back and see if it's anywhere else. It is also on
Prime.
Prime in the States.
Oh, excellent.
Let me make sure it's not one. Let me make sure Prime's not doing. Watch with your Paramount. So is it on Paramount Plus then?
Oh my
I think it's on
God.
Paramount Plus.
Okay.
It's
Well,
on Paramount, according to this, it's on Paramount Plus. Even Google doesn't know where the fuck anything is anymore.
hopefully it's somewhere because we do have a guest for this next week. So hopefully it's easy for them to find.
I bought a digital copy of this somewhere. I have it on my computer. I just have to.
I am looking forward to this. You told me about this. I don't remember when.
It's a short little movie. It's only, well, what was it?
It is 100 minutes.
Yeah, short little movie. Very, very beautifully shot. It's got some flaws, but I like it. I'm not.
Yeah,
this is not. I'm not trying to. It follows you right now.
I don't remember what we were talking about when you told me about this movie. We were talking about Pedro Pascal, I guess.
We were probably talking about The Last of Us, and I brought this up because I fully believe this is what got him the Last of Us role.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's probably what we were talking about. But I remember you told me about this movie. I put it on my own watch list before you ended up putting it on the wheel.
It's good. It's a good little movie. I like it, and I can't wait to watch it again.
All right. Well, this has been another successful episode of Stand and Watch. Follow the show on Blue Sky.
We're not on that other one anymore, or at all, right?
The Nazi one? No, we're not on there.
No Nazi website for us.
Yeah, I mean the account is still up, but like I don't go on there anymore at all. So follow us on Blue
I'm
Sky.
going there less and less every day.
Yeah, follow us on Blue Sky at standandwatch.bsky.social. And if you can find me and Nick on there, you're welcome to follow us as well. But you got to work for that information, you know. Do a little detective work.
Yeah, you got to work, bitch.
Yeah. Other than that, give us a review if you want. I'm not going to force you. You know, you're your own person. Feel free.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But if not, just tell your friends.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dad, tell your friends with dads, tell your friends' dads. Anybody
Tell
really.
your dad's dads, tell their dad's dads.
Yeah,
And then if they're still around, their dad's dads.
If you know anybody who either has a dad, is a dad, or enjoys movies, tell them. Tell them about our show.
You have a responsibility.
Yeah. Just all you got to tell them is listen. It's this cool podcast. They talk about movies and whether or not they're dad movies. And Steve Buscemi listens. And that's what you have to say.
Buscemi listens.
People will listen to a
listen.
podcast that Steve Buscemi listens to.
Exactly. You will be one of the standees that listens. Fucking Steve Buscemi is a standee.
Yeah.
He's a standee.
Become
you can
a
be
standee.
a standee with him.
You can be known as in the same group as Steve Buscemi.
That's right.
And as we all
And
learn
one of
from
his-
this movie, it's that you want to be part of a group.
Yes, because there are perks and benefits, and the head of the group will keep you safe if for some reason they think you have to be killed.
I'm also issuing an open invitation for Angelina Jolie to become a standee if she wants.
Angie, if you want to be a standee, just let me know when I'm watching the kids. I can make it happen.
Yeah. I don't got much else to say, so just remember, folks, whatever you do, don't tell your mother.